It's 2025 and I'm finally trying out Charlotte Tilbury Pop Shot Hypnotizing eyeshadows. I mostly waited this long because these are $34 each, so I got these on sale during their Black Friday sale last year in 2024, and I believe they were about 25 to 30% off, and I only got the shades that I was kind of mostly interested in, and I really wanted to have these as reference as well. And I thought I would show you eye swatches of all 6 shades so you could get the best idea on what these look like all over the lid. As a one and done shadow, I am currently wearing one of the shades with a multi-chrome liner from ColourPop just for a little bit of pop as the eyeliner, as well as on the inner corner, just to spice this up a little bit. And on the lips, I'm wearing MAC Hodgepodge. I always forget what lip I'm wearing, so from now on, I'm going to be mentioning it so that I don't forget later on. And the shade I have on currently is Smoky Quartz, and I feel like this is a really beautiful taupey leaning brown based on the swatches and the looks that they have on the Charlotte Tilbury website. I feel like I was definitely going into this with a certain expectation. I knew that these would be more of a standard shimmer formula that is really smooth but still has a little bit of shine to it, but nothing like overly sparkly. And I'm actually kind of surprised. I feel like there's a slight variation in a texture and or formulation between some of these shades, and I was not expecting that at all. I just expected them to be the same across the board, especially given the customer base for Charlotte Tilbury. Some of them have actually just a little bit more of a texture than others, and I feel like some of them also feel drier than others and are a little bit harder to pick up. They almost feel kind of like thicker to swatch, and they don't really apply fully evenly unless of course you're using a tacky primer, which I will get into all of that at the end of the video. So let's take a look at the eye swatches and I'll give you my thoughts at the end of the video. So you can see some of the differences in textures. So this is Diamond Eyes, Pillow Talk, Sunlit Diamond, and Rose Gold. I feel like Rose Gold had a little bit of a smoother, thicker texture compared to especially these 2 shades that felt a little bit drier. And I definitely feel like some of these could be kind of sheared out. There is definitely more shine in this shade. It's just a bit more reflective. And then for the close-in, I love the tone of this one. It's so orangey with gold flecks throughout it. And then Smoky Quartz and Lover's Diamond, these feel for sure a little bit more smooth, a little bit harder pressed as well. I love the shade. It's like a really beautiful chocolatey shade with some silver, like a touch of silver to it. And this one's quite punchy and very opaque as well. I mean, just look at that. It is such a dimensional shade. I feel like both of these are, because this one is so heavily reddish orange with gold flecks throughout it. First shade is Rose Gold. It's very smooth. It has just kind of like more of a sheen versus like a super metallic finish. But I do feel like it's pretty reflective. It feels like a little bit thicker to spread on the lid. Diamond Eyes. I feel like this one has ever so slightly a little bit more of a texture to it. It feels like dry but also kind of thick. I don't know how to explain it. This one definitely I feel like is a little bit more reflective compared to the other shade. So Rose Gold with Flash, Diamond Eyes, and with Flash, Sunlit Meadow. This one looks like it's going to be quite sparkly actually. This has got a beautiful kind of goldy orange leaning color to it. I feel like this one's coming on a little bit patchy. Like it kind of almost doesn't want to stick to my eyelid. I don't have eyeshadow primer on, but the other ones had no issues sticking down. Smoky Quartz. See, this one feels smoother. I feel like this one could be sheared out a little bit. It seems to have that kind of texture where it could go that way. Definitely feel like the base is a little bit separate from the reflect. Like the reflect is almost silvery with a more cooler tone brown. Sunlit Diamond. with Flash, Smoky Quartz with Flash, Lover's Diamond. This one seems very smooth, like Smoky Quartz. Definitely kind of like a burnt orange with a gold reflect to it. It's like a darker version, more red version of the Sunlit one that I just swatched on this eye. I feel like I can see the gold sparkles are kind of separate from the base again, so it was looking a little bit kind of patchy there, the way that they were spreading out. This one is Pillow Talk Diamonds Diamond Dimension. This one definitely seems like it's going to be more sparkly. I can just tell the texture in here is just like a little bit, it picks up a little bit differently. It feels thick for sure, and I feel like I can feel a little bit of a texture in it as well as I'm like spreading it with my finger. I can feel it's still smooth, but it has just like a little bit of grittiness, but like the tiniest bit, not in a way that it's going to be irritating. These are definitely going to have some fallout throughout the day for me. So Lover's Diamond with Flash, Pillow Talk. You can definitely see more sparkle in this one. Editing Millie here. During the first part of my review, my memory card started to reformat, so unfortunately I lost some of it. So I will try to remember what I said in that part. I believe I was talking about the pricing and how I definitely recommend, if you absolutely want to try these, I would just get one or two and wait for a sale. Get at least 20% off, if not 25 to 30% off. But if you're into indie makeup, I guarantee you have way better, shinier shades than this. That being said, I did find these shades in particular to be pretty unique. I didn't find anything really too similar to these from my collection, but that's mostly because I have a lot of duochromes and multichromes and not necessarily as many nuanced regular shimmer shadows. I would highly recommend a tacky primer, especially if you have hooded lids, because I did get quite a bit of fallout and also not the best wear time when I didn't use a tacky primer. I did find these to fade a little bit throughout the day in my crease, and also the slightly more textured shades do have quite a bit of fallout, which is super common with anything really textured. And if you have hooded eyes, for example, the Diamond Eyes shade, while I love the shade, it's a perfect everyday wet looking kind of shade. It's got a lot of sheerness to it, but it has a little bit of a larger particle size. And then the other shade is maybe not as chunky, is the Pillow Talk shade. I feel like that one has a little bit of texture as well, and so does Sunlit Diamond. And then the three smoother shades are definitely Smoky Quartz and Rose Gold, as well as Lover's Diamond. And even though these are smoother, I would still recommend a tacky primer because the main color that you see is kind of like a base, and this shade in particular has gold flecks throughout it, which once you apply the shadow, they kind of sit on top a little bit, so they're really prone to just coming off of the lid. So that's why I really feel like I just have to use a tacky primer with all of these, and I was kind of not really expecting that with these. I really thought these would all be the same level of shine, level of smoothness and texture. All that being said, I do really like all the shades that I picked up. I feel like these are all great one and done everyday types of shades, or throw a matte in the crease. I know that they have two kind of multi-chrome duochrome shades, which I almost got. I believe it was sold out or something, because I don't know why I wouldn't have bought that. I think it's like a blue pink duochrome, blue pink purple. That would maybe be a shade that I would pick up, but I kind of feel like I'm all set with these. I don't feel like I want to run out and buy some of the other shades even during a sale. I'm not really tempted. I feel like I'm kind of all set. I tried these out. I know what they're like. I got a feel for them, and I can use them for reference for future videos, for future eyeshadows, etc. But I would love to hear your thoughts on these. Let me know in the comments below if you have any of these. So I hope this video was helpful, and if you enjoy this kind of content, I will put up some of my other videos up on the screen. And thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you next time.